Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more Gundam building. What I'm building here is the Gundam Unicorn, or Unicorn Gundam, the UC Project 0096. I thought this was a really cool looking kit because the way this model works is that the little red bits will actually can be folded up and hidden. So it's a really neat project. I wanted to give it a shot. I probably shouldn't have just thrown that because I'm an idiot, but you know what else is new. Anyway, that's what we're going to do today. Let me go ahead and get this together. I forgot that I had the stickers right here. Like I said, it's a really neat model. Let me see. I don't know if I can show you an image on here real quick just to give an idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, it folds up. Yeah, so there you go. So you have it out like this. Oh, okay, you can't see shit. I'm retarded. So you would have it all red and out like that, but then you can also like kind of fold up the other bits and it seals up. So it's a really cool model. This is one of those kits that, if you could tell by the wrinkles on the page, yeah, this is one of them that got water damaged, but thankfully it's plastic, so I don't have to really worry about that. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get into this. We're going to do a usual rambling as, how I normally do. But before we do that, I want to go ahead, I want to start getting my little pieces together so that way we're not just sitting here waiting for me to do that. I'm probably going to make this another hour-long video like I usually do because I feel like that just it allows me to have more progress with these videos. So let me go ahead, let me do that. I will be right back. Alrighty, so I got my parts together. I lost something. No, here it is. Okay, cool. I'm not going to need that right now, though. I don't know why I care about that. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. I want to make sure that you guys can see me on camera building. I need to get used to, like, building here and not over here because I'm used to working in front of me. So that's my bad being dumb. But, I digress. So something I've been coming across a lot lately. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's, I want to say, a growing trend. The sovereign citizens. I don't know if you've ever seen these guys, but it's kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. So it's these dumbasses that they believe the law works differently than the way it actually does. And it's always marketed towards people who either have a criminal record or are on, like, seriously hard times. And they believe some super stupid and outlandish things. Like, for some reason, they're under the impression or under the belief that the United States isn't actually a government, we're a corporation. That somehow, at some point, whether it was the Civil War or the Revolution or just whatever war they can pull out of their rear ends, the United States ended up in some kind of wartime debt, and because of that, America is actually a corporation under the United Kingdom, or some kind of nonsense like that, and police officers here in the US are actually just British agents that are enforcing this law. There's certain terminologies that you can't use as a sovereign citizen because then you're basically admitting that this secretive government is actually in control of you or something like that. Like when an officer says, like, okay, do you understand the law? You can't say I understand because what you're saying is I am under you or some kind of stupid nonsensical thought process like that. By the way, this is like the little pilot end of it. It's actually really neat, little cute. There, so I'm sorry, I'm just being a nerd right now because actually that's really cool looking. So far, I'm hopeful for this build. Usually, sometimes these builds are a pain in the ass. I love them. They're just a pain in the ass. Already, I'm trying to... Okay, so this has to snap... Oh. But yeah, so sovereign citizen trend is just insane, to say the least. Mind-boggling to me. Because it's just mind-bogglingly stupid. One line I always hear watching police body cam footage, and it always gets me. It never gets old. Officer, I'm not driving. I'm traveling. Right, because their whole belief is it's something like you as the average individual who is driving a vehicle, you're not driving because apparently only people who drive trucks or buses, those people are driving because you're driving resources and objects and people from A to B. And if you as an individual are driving, you're not actually driving, you are traveling. So you don't need a license to travel, you need a license to drive machines like buses and things like that. This is their insane belief, and it's like there's just some kind of nonsense excuse for everything with them. Like that's the wild part of this. Oh, where is this going? Okay, so this. How does this go? Hold on, I'm a little screwy right now. Sovereign citizens are killing my brain right now. There we go. Um, but yeah, it's look when you guys get a chance, look it up. The sovereign citizens, they're insane. It's like it's just this nonsensical aspect of society. I would say that you have to sit here and wonder, how the hell did we get here? Oh, I'm doing it upside down. See, how did I get here? I don't even know. But anyway, other than that, Sonic movie came out recently. Personally, I'm not impressed with it. It wasn't a terrible movie. It's just, as somebody who played the video games and read the comics and all that, I was disappointed. Okay, hold on. I need my eyes because I can't see where this is going. This is gonna be the most annoying piece to put in right now. Or do I have it backwards? No, I'm putting it the right way. So there's these little slits here that I have to like kind of just slide it into, and it does not want to slide. Granted, my light kind of sucks. There we go. I think I got it. Wait. Nope, everything's falling apart. There we go, and it fell apart. Okay, hold on. Can I disconnect this? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. So yeah, the Sonic movie it was cute. If oh, that's what I did. I did it backwards. That explains it. If you're looking to bring your kids to it, I mean, it's a cute movie for that purpose. It's a good family movie. I would say family oriented. But if you're a nerd for like old games and stuff like that, it's not. I hate to say it because it aggravates me to say this, but it's not for you. It's not meant for us nerds. It's not really meant for old time fans of the series. And it does kind of suck to think like that because the way I look at it is this: when it comes down to series, because that's a line that I keep hearing. And it does bother me a bit because the way I see it, and I don't know if this is, would this be narcissistic? I don't know if narcissistic, but is it like pretentious or, I'm trying to think of the right word, but it makes me, entitled. Entitled would be the word. It feels entitled to say this, and yeah, I do kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it's just like, as a fan who's been a part, just a fan of these series for as long as I have, it kind of almost feels like a somewhat betrayal when, a series that you love kind of just says, hey, we're doing our own thing. We're not following the original script, like, at all. And, it's not made for you. It kind of feels like a betrayal, And I definitely feel like Marvel and Star Wars fans are starting to feel the same way when their characters, their shows, their movies are going completely in the opposite direction that the original series took. Alright, so I gotta get these parts together. Alright, so we got our parts together. Anyway, so going back to, like I said, I do kind of feel, as a nerd, like sometimes these series kind of betray their fans in a way. And I could definitely say that a lot more when it comes down to like Resident Evil and Marvel, Star Wars. Sonic, like I said, it was cute for what it was. But my problem was that I just feel like it had a lot of missed opportunities. Now, I'm confused by how this is meant to work. I think I'm supposed to force it in? I have no idea how this works, and I'm scared because I don't want to break it. Hello! Okay, Razor Cortex. I don't know how this goes, and it makes me very nervous, because I straight up feel like I'm going to break this. Like, this is how it's supposed to go. I think it's in? That bothers me so much. That just does not feel right. It's a bad touch. But anyway, joking aside, I do feel like to some degree, though, these series do kind of betray their fans a little bit. And that's in my opinion. Now, I do hate talking about my childhood interests in Sonic, or my being a nerd for that series as a kid, because immediately when I think of Sonic, my brain goes straight to Chris Chan, Jay Sonic. Which, if you've never seen these people, give them a look up. Look up for Chris Chan, Geno Samuel. Um, Jay Sonic, there's a few content creators you can look into, but I'm just going to give you the quick Sparks notes on him. He's a dude from, I believe, Quebec, who, as a boy, had a major fascination with sticking objects in his, well, put it this way, not his ass, the other hole, out the front. And one day, decided that'd be a brilliant idea to stick a rusty nail in there. Yeah, that tiny ass hole. I think you know where I'm talking about. Anyway, so rocket scientist sticks this in his hole, and somehow ends up in like a coma, or I don't understand the medical ends of things when it comes down to that. Long story short, it put him in the hospital. And he apparently had a hallucination of Sonic during this event, and credits his life being saved by Sonic. Despite the fact that it was, doctors and all that. No, it was Sonic the Hedgehog who saved him, apparently. And since then, he has had an infatuation with Sonic. Now he's basically in love with Sonic. Some people have asked him if it's like a gender thing, but he's just got a very weird obsession for Sonic. For the fact that he's, having been, I guess, saved by Sonic the Hedgehog, for lack of a better word. Anyway, so, there we go. Apparently, dude's such a creep with Sonic stuff that he had to buy a plushie from a dude on eBay. Okay, nerds have their collectibles, nothing wrong with that. But when it's bad enough that you creep out the seller to where the man feels like he feels the need to have to coddle his remaining plushies, when you can make a grown man want to coddle a plushie, you're freaking weird. Because apparently this dude, he bought one of the dude's one of the seller's Sonic plushies. Give me a second, I'm having a brain fart right now. I'm trying to figure out where these pieces go, because apparently this is supposed to go in here? My head hurts. Hold on, let me take these shoulder bits out. Out, there you go. And I'm assuming, because like the whole thing is, you gotta remember that oh. So this is gonna be able to fold out. Okay, so I didn't break it. I don't think. I know it could be a little special, but I don't know if I'm that special right now. I'm having a hell of a time. So it should be facing downward. Okay. Alright, we're getting somewhere, I think. Okay, so this is kind of stupid. And I'm really hoping I didn't do this backwards, because I'm going to be pretty pissed. But this is basically what it was look like. So for those of you building this, if you're building this along with me, I don't know if you are or not. Essentially, what you have to do is these two chest pieces have to be slid in first, and then the shoulder mounts go over that. Anyway, I digress. Let me get back to my mental torment. Anyway, so yeah. The guy apparently bought these plushies because he overused his Sonic plushie. And by overused, I mean exactly what it sounds like. I don't think I've ever seen Sonic go from blue to brown quickly. And he did. Yeah, Sonic had more holes in him than an OnlyFans girl. So, there was that. Apparently he has, on a number of occasions, talked to children, because go figure. He calls himself a plushophile, which, take that for what you will. I think he does also see himself as a furry, too. I don't know if that's going to add anything to that, to each their own. But, yeah. Jay Sonic is an interesting character. And like I said, I love the Sonic series because of the stories, the mostly the comics. Like if you guys ever like read Archie comics, those stories were really good. Again, my opinion. Now, when I think of Sonic, for some reason my brain immediately goes to people like Jay Sonic, Chris Chan, and it does kind of make me feel bad for being like a somewhat Sonic fan. Like I'm not the guy who's gonna go out and lose his shit and die hard for Sonic. No, no. But on the occasion, I do enjoy going back to those old games and just kind of reliving my childhood because Sonic is a part of my childhood. But then, also thinking of people like Chris Chan who diddled their mother and then goes ahead to say otherwise, even though they themselves, these individuals themselves, have admitted to doing so. And this piece does not want to. I think they just broke off. Not broke, but it just disconnected. Oh, god damn it. All this is not working the way I wanted to. This is why I hold a knife. I'm going to try this out. Come on, come on. It does not want to come out now. Because this now, the other piece down here on the chest is stuck. There we go, got it. And then this is, now gotta get, there we go. And that one popped out too. God damn, okay. Did I say this is a cool build? I meant to say this is fucking aggravating. Holy shit, okay. So these chest pieces, yeah, they do have to go like this. So I was doing the right thing. It's just the way the whole build is shaped. Let me try the other piece. I also feel like this is a little tab right here. Unless this is supposed to snap in, like unless there's going to be a back part that this is going to have to go into. No, I think I'm doing it right. Okay, see, this one went in a lot better. It's not really flush, like it doesn't really look all that good, but alright, so no, this is right. Like what I'm doing is right. It's just really weird and really not comfortable. Like it's just not sitting the way you'd want it to. Like a lot of Gundam builds I've done in the past, they just kind of sit right. This just isn't sitting. There we go. Okay, so that snapped back into place. Alright, so there you go. That's our torso. Um, we're getting there, lads. We're getting there, little by little. I'm assuming this is gonna. Oh, that's how that works. Okay. I didn't even look. I just figured that out. Okay, cool. But yeah, I just feel like overall, when it comes down to nerd space, a lot of the series that we've grown with, the characters that we've loved since we were young, they're dead now. They're effectively dead now. These college kids who wanted to create fanfics decided to create their own fanfics, just costing millions of dollars, and they're surprised that nobody likes them. And it's, we need to make them all feel good about themselves. That's unfortunately the society we live in nowadays. We have sovereign citizens who are so desperate for God knows what that they're willing to believe something as absurd as the United States is secretly a corporation. We have people who have no business making video games or movies that are, for lack of a better word, failing upwards. And we have weirdos like Jay Sonic sticking things up their urethra and, talking to children and mangling Sonic dolls with their. Yeah, you get where I'm going with this. Anyway. Where do you. I think this just snaps into. Oh, this is. I hate parts like this. There we go. Okay, cool. And then this is going to go over the top. Damn it. The one thing I hate with Gundam building is there's always these little bits that kind of get in the way. Oh. Oh. Hold on, let's pop that out. There we go. There we go. Nice. And that snapped out of place. Of course it did. There. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're back. There we go. And there is our Gundam. Now I don't know how. Unless it's like meant to like. Oh, god, fucking damn it, son of a mother. Ugh. Okay. I don't know how this is intended to work, like how exactly it's gonna fold out and whatnot, but that's basically the body so far. And that's actually looking really good. So that's the completion of that. Now we're gonna work on his head. I need my C trays, which are right over here. Alright, but anyway, other than all that, apparently, looking into it, Concord may have potentially lost somewhere to the tune of 400 million or upwards of 400, and apparently took 6 to 8 years of development, supposedly. Um, some insiders are reporting these, but again, this is one of those things where take it with a grain of salt, because this is he said, she said. So, whether or not this is all true information, I cannot confirm, but still, it kind of makes you wonder, because apparently, one thing that they were saying is that Sony was super adamant about this being successful, and they were hoping to basically make this like Sony's Star Wars effectively. And as we all saw, failed miserably. On top of that, it was basically being head by, like I said, people who probably have no business in the gaming industry that wanted just to create fanfic and ended up creating something that no one loved. But remember, when you don't like something, it's not your place to have an opinion. It's actually hateful to have an opinion. So how dare you for not liking Concord? Oh god, you know what I mean? It's just it's shit like that. But anyway, Concord lost millions easily. And Sony apparently was so adamant of this game being successful that you were never allowed to speak bad about it in the development studio. So like, if you were a developer who was like on the team and you happen to notice one of the characters was weird looking, like, hey, maybe fans aren't gonna like that. Nope, you can't say that. Nope, don't talk like that. The character looks fine. They're empowering. They're great. You're not allowed to talk bad about this game at all. How dare you? And well, maybe a little negative criticism would have saved the game a bit. Apparently, also the characters were all gonna have different designs, like that one chick that everyone, like you see commonly, like when you see images for the game. There's that like one chick that's got like I think like blue lipstick and this fat chick with a minigun. Originally, she was supposed to have a different design. She wasn't supposed to be obese. She was supposed to be like, I would say more curvy. But she was more someone who looked like they could handle themselves in a fight, and not someone who looks like they belong in a McDonald's. So, I mean, the only thing that this chick in Concord was able to kill is a cheeseburger, but I digress. Uh, yeah, so their designs were supposed to be different. The game has been in development for how many years? Overall, hot garbage. Hot garbage. It actually was so bad that some people who bought the game woke up one morning and found that Sony just removed it from their libraries. A reminder, you don't own your games. Something I've talked about many times, both on this platform and over on our podcast. I have talked about this in the past where, yeah, you don't own any of your games. You own a license to use the game. And essentially all that means is that Sony, Xbox, Steam, they all have the legal right to remove games that you've purchased from your library at will. And I would like it if I understood how the hell... Oh, okay, so this is going to go in here. No? Maybe? It's not very specific. Like, I'm assuming it goes like this? Does that look right? That doesn't look right. You know why it's not right? Because my dumbass has it upside down. That would explain a lot. Oh, there we go. See, okay. That's a slidey bit. Okay, neat. So I had it upside down because I'm a dumbass. And this has to go under here? Here? There. And that's how our head is coming together. Alright, we're getting there. But anyway. Oh, so this has to go together. Why not just put them together? My caveman brain isn't working right now because I'm like, okay, so A3 to A2, but then how did how oh I think monkey brain just kicked in. It's like, oh, caveman discover fire. So where do you go? Like this or like that? Again, they don't really give a clear description of how the hell this is supposed to go in. Like, I'm assuming, like, something like this? Like, in here. Like, I'm assuming it's... No, that doesn't make sense, though. Like, I'm trying to... Because there's this little peg. Oh. Like this. God damn it. Okay, hold on. Alright, so it's a little weird. You gotta play with it, but yeah. This is how it's coming together. Kind of annoying. This build is wonky at best, but granted, what else is new with these Gundam builds? Anyway, previously on the channel, I have talked about... wait, before I proceed on, I want to double check something. Because something I have a bad habit of doing is, I'll proceed on with a build and then forget the stickers. And I want to make sure that I don't forget the stickers that I'm forgetting. I'm an idiot. Oh, and there goes more parts. Great! Okay, come on. Anyway, I've talked about this before on the channel. I played Black Ops recently. I've played Modern Warfare recently, and I am not impressed. Black Ops was very meh, and Modern Warfare was very meh. And something that I feel is constantly occurring in the gaming industry that a lot of us older nerds see it, but the younger guys don't. And granted, I don't blame the younger generation for not really seeing it all that much, because if you guys aren't playing the old games, you don't really see what we see. So, I can't really blame any of the younger guys for this, but something I keep seeing is that it feels like, not even just gaming, but media in general has no balls. There's no risk-taking, there's no creativity, there's no chances, there's no attempt at some kind of, like, real story to be told. Or not even story, but like even trying to make a point of things in a I think of the way to word it, in a shocking way. Like, maybe this is me just applying meaning to something that probably had no meaning other than shoot everything for fun. But like, a game I can think of, because I was talking about it with a customer the other day, and the game I was talking about was Postal. The OG Postal. And if you guys know anything about Postal, there's a scene in the... Well, let me preface by saying that I hate this build already, because his eyes are already all jacked up, because Dum Dum... Oh my god, these eyes are aggravating. They're not really the way I want them to be. I mean, I don't know if you guys... they look okay, I guess. Not really the way I would have wanted them, but anyway. If you've never played Postal, essentially, from my understanding of the first game, because I never really played through the first game, I just kind of played I played the other ones, and I don't really intend on playing the first one for the series, because it's just like, for the channel, just because I don't really feel like it. I'm not really a fan of those, like, super old top-down shooters, like, so games like the old Grand Theft Auto and whatnot, probably have no interest in playing those. But the original Postal, from my understanding of it, the plot was something along the lines of, like, the military screwed up and released a bioweapon that caused everyone to go absolutely insane. So if you've ever seen the movie The Crazies, think something kind of like that, right? Everyone's losing their minds, everyone's becoming horribly aggressive and essentially killing each other. And it's just a bad time. So the government is actively killing people to try to cover things up, cover their asses, and then also try to prevent this contaminant from spreading further. If I remember correctly, the only character that's not affected is the postal dude he himself. Why, I can't tell you, because I have no idea. At one point in the story, at one point in the game, after having blown away psycho civilians, police, military, your character enters a school. And the game kind of just ends there. You don't see, like, you can shoot your weapon, but it won't do anything. Nobody gets hurt. Some people believe that this was the postal dude just losing his mind, and he was never actually in this building with a firearm, but he was just going nuts. And I had a point to make with that. Well, I mean, I think it, like, shit. I had a point to it and I lost it. Fuck. If I can think about it, I'll come back to it. But essentially, what ends up happening is the guy basically loses his mind, and you could shoot your gun, but it doesn't actually do anything. And the developers admitted that the reason why they put that scene in the game in the first place is because this was before Columbine had happened. And the developers felt that no one would ever be monstrous enough to do something like that. No one would ever think to bring a weapon to a building like that. No one ever thought of that. And unfortunately, Columbine happened, which in Postal Redux, they got rid of that scene. And instead, the postal dude ends up in, finds himself in his own funeral. Which, again, people are trying to, there's a lot of symbolism, I guess, behind it. Granted, I think Postal 4 kind of retconned that a little bit, because of the fact that apparently we know that we're playing as the postal dude's father in the first game, and then in Postal 4, we meet the father. So, I'm a little confused. That's why I'm like, I kind of just forget Postal 1 existed. Because at least the second, third, and fourth game are all the same dude, sort of. The third game is technically now considered, like... Well, for one, we don't talk about the third game. It never happened. Don't talk about it. It never happened. But anyway... At this point, the Running with Scissors have just kind of made the third game kind of just a bad dream. That's literally what it is, that the postal dude is just dreaming another version of himself. So that's their story excuse. Like, oh yeah, so why is there a different postal dude? Yeah, it's just a dream. Just a dream. Never happened. Don't worry about it. Just a bad dream. Bad dream that involved him having to fight his own ex-wife, who was in the middle of trying to marry the devil. That's not a joke either. That's quite literally one of the DLC. Like, you're trying to get your dog Champ, and your ex-wife that your character aptly names the bitch. She's trying to stop you from getting Champ back because she, for some reason, wants him. I guess typical ex-wife situation. And you have to fight you have to fight her, and she's in the middle of trying to marry the devil. So, and take that for what you will. But I had a point to make with the first Postal game. Oh, I can't remember now, but I have to think about it. I'm like, my brain's in 3 different places. I'm trying to focus on building this. When I get to it, I'll get to it. But long story short, I feel like games had balls. Games had the ability, the willingness to take risks. And I do think shock value is important for a story, because it's more memorable that way. On top of that, writers like Robert Kirkman believe that the more important a character is, the much greater their death or something like that should be. So, take a character like Glenn from The Walking Dead. He was a major character for like a long time, and then all of a sudden, at one point, they just killed him off. But it wasn't just a sudden death. I mean, it was sudden. No one was expecting it, but his death wasn't meaningless or anything like that. Like, the man had his head caved in. Like, he was decimated, for lack of a better word. He was just, like, you see the guy's eye pop out of his skull, for Christ's sakes. And again, the whole scene was meant to be as brutal as possible because you want the character to be memorable. That's the point. You want the character to be remembered. You want everyone to remember, hey, remember when that poor bastard got his head caved in? I think I'm doing this right. Okay. Gotta figure this out. Sorry, give me 1 minute, guys. Alright, so I have to apply the sticker to these little antennae bit. And they don't want to stick at all. This is a problem. They're not sticking on the right way. I think I put them on backwards like an idiot. I put them on backwards like an idiot. Not sure. I think they're supposed to go inside of it, actually. I'm a little confused, because, like, how the hell is this supposed to go? I think it's supposed to go on the inside, because I feel like this covers up details. I think. I have no idea. Hold on, let me see if I can see a picture of his horn. So, it's supposed to split open, I guess? I have no idea how this is supposed to work, but I guess it's supposed to go on the inside. Because, like, this shows his horns as if... So I'm assuming this is going to split open somehow. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So... But then this is going to cover up, like, a lot of detail. So that's kind of stupid. Alright, but close enough. There we go. Alright, so you're supposed to put them on the inside. That's why. Okay, that makes more sense. But anyway, going back to my rant, I just feel like gaming or just media in general has no balls anymore. We don't take risks. We don't try to make a point. We don't try to do, like, well, I think they try to make a point, but they try to make the same damn point over and over and over again, and it just falls on deaf ears at this point because nobody cares. We're tired of hearing the same fucking, oh, political correctness, shut up. Enough. Just give us something entertaining. But anyway, I kind of feel like I'm doing the very same thing. Anyway, this is the horn bit. Figured that out. That was stupid annoying as it is, just like me. But I digress. This I don't think clips onto anything yet. The horn, apparently? Or is this like... This is the horn. So I have a choice to use. So, we're going to use this one because I feel like this one would be cooler to use. If it wants to work with me, of course. There we go. So now, what's going to end up happening is when we use the horns, if it wants to cooperate, come on, we're almost there. See? You can do something like that. That's neat. I like that. That's gonna fall apart so many times though, it's gonna aggravate the shit out of me. You know it's gonna piss me off. But anyway. So, with this said, we need C20 and C22. But yeah, I just feel like we are not doing the gaming community justice anymore. And I just feel like it's hurting because of that. I mean, Modern Warfare is a great example of this, right? I've talked about it a number of times, but it bothers the hell out of me. And I've just finished Modern Warfare 3, and again, it's kind of the same issues that I had with Modern Warfare 2, where we have an opportunity to make things so much worse for like, a good reason, and instead, we constantly stop that. And I feel like that's what's hurting the series. So one thing that a lot of people need to remember is the big end game of Modern Warfare was World War III. And we keep preventing World War III. So it's like, at this point, like, is there an end game to this game anymore? Is there World War III coming? Are we gonna have this, or are we just lying to ourselves at this point? So, side note, here's his head with his weirdly split horn that should be a little bit more functional. So I'm hoping that this works together a little bit better, but one step at a time, of course. So if we snap his head right here, there you go. Looking good, looking good. This is his spare horn that I don't need. Gundam models tend to come with extra bits. So we're going to be working on the arm. I need the J trays. Here they are. Here it is. So, going back to it. I feel like we keep avoiding World War III. We keep avoiding the big end game, and it's never getting anywhere. Honestly, at this point, Modern Warfare is boring. Story-wise, the story sucks. It's boring. It's lacking. So, Modern Warfare 1 lulled me into a false sense of hope because of the fact that I seriously was under the impression that they were going to take the original Modern Warfare series, stupid me, and apply it to a more realistic setting. Now, what ended up happening was they did do the first game right. I think they did the first game really good, and if you watch my video on it, because I did a series on it, I thought they did really good with it. And then Modern Warfare 2, the remaster, just fell through completely, because I was expecting them to kind of follow the story a little bit more. The fact that they were including ghosts, so I was like, okay, cool, so we're going to get Modern Warfare 2. No, we didn't get that. What we got was some kind of bullshit. Oh, okay, this is right. My problem with Modern Warfare 2 was that the whole goddamn game, oh, we're chasing after Hassan and his missiles. Oh, this guy from Iran, he's a real problem. He's a real threat. We gotta deal with him. We gotta find him. Oh, where's Hassan and his damn missiles? We finally catch the bastard. And, we're ready to put him in the desert, put him in a hole, and call it a day. Oh, you can't kill me. I'm a soldier. This is an act of war. Oh my god, he's right. He's a soldier. We can't kill him. This'll be a war crime. Excuse me? I'm sorry. Excuse me? He is a foreign operative on American soil, actively committing terror attacks and potentially risking national security. And you're telling me he's a legal soldier? So what's his right to be in the United States escorting stolen American weapons? We're the CIA. We're working for the CIA. We kind of specialize in making people disappear. So under what circumstances does this make any goddamn sense? But okay, fine. We're gonna let this asshole go just because we're creatively bankrupt and we have no good ideas. Fine, let him run. He runs away, and what's his big evil endgame? Use an American missile to blow up the president. Oh no. Because that's not a plot point that we've heard many, many times in the past from other movies and video games. Because apparently the president is the be-all, end-all of the American government, and that if he dies, we don't have some kind of chain of succession that if, God forbid, something happens to the president, that there's not, like, the Speaker of the House or the Vice President or a myriad of other people after that individual. No, these people don't exist. No, they're just not real. Now, one argument that a friend of mine did make, that's a fair point, is God forbid the president is to be killed, there is the issue of the economy. So, if the president was, God forbid, assassinated, the economy would take a hit. But to be fair, though, let's look at, like, 9/11. I feel like something as drastic as 9/11, like, put it this way, president dies, it's a big deal. But a massive attack like 9/11 on the U.S., I feel like something like that, like, if we can't recover from 9/11, there's no way we'd ever recover from a president being killed. You know what I mean? Like, we recovered from 9/11, for the most part, I'd say. I mean, we're probably still, to some degree, reeling from some shit that I don't really know about, because I'm not, I don't really know a lot about 9/11. But the point, despite the fact that I'm a New Yorker. But despite that, the point I'm trying to make is the whole killing the president of the United States plot in video games. It's in movies and video games. I just feel like it's so overused. You know, it's just something that we've heard about time and time again. Oh, they're going for the president again. What else is new? Typical terrorists. Like, at this point, like, their terrorism is so common, it's boring. Like, can you guys come up with a better idea? Any new terroristic strategies that we haven't heard of? Like, come on. So, here's my criticism, my point of this, right? What I think they should have done is, rather than go for the president, what they should have done is they had the American missiles, right? And at the end of Modern Warfare 2, they hinted at no Russian. What I think they should have done is that they should have stolen the missiles, which that was fine, and taken them to an American base in Poland. Taken over the base, and the big threat should have been whether or not they were going to fire those missiles at Russia. Why does that matter? Well, simply put, how does this look for the Russian government, right? An American missile was fired from an American base behind NATO territory, and it hit Russia. How does that look? How does that make the United States look? So, and there's a number of issues with this too. It's not just simply, oh, America attacked Russia. If America admits, oh yeah, no, it was a terrorist, they stole our weapons and they took over our base. Whoa, hold on. America had a base attacked and stolen by terrorists? You mean to tell me that we got our asses beat? The United States had one of its bases taken over by just terrorists? How does that make the U.S. look now? So on one hand, hey, we're innocent and we're not, we didn't attack Russia. But on the other hand, we're telling the Russians, hey, we're weak. So now the government now it puts the U.S. government in a really tight spot. Like this spot I'm in right now, because I was supposed to put this here and I didn't because I'm an idiot. Anyway, so from a story standpoint, I feel like that would be an even greater threat. I'm not sure if the game should necessarily end right then and there, like after the missile has been fired. I would think it'd be probably best to continue it a little bit and then end after the fact. Because I think it should end after no Russian. I think Modern Warfare 2 should have ended after no Russian. Not like the series, but I just think Modern Warfare 2 should have ended after no Russian in this scenario. Like, the Russians are already like, hey, America may or may not have just attacked us. What do we do? And they're just kind of sitting there like, well, let's investigate. Let's be reasonable. Maybe America is actually innocent. Maybe this is some kind of crazy Splinter Cell. Maybe this is, maybe America isn't responsible for this this attack on our soil, right? And then pull no Russian. Do the same thing that we had in the movie. The same thing that we had in the previous game, in the original game. Have a CIA operative with Makarov trying to, get close to him to be able to take him out from inside. And then, lo and behold, Makarov knows what's actually going on and ends up killing this guy and using him to frame the US. So again, how do the Russians see all this? The American government fires a missile at an American missile hits Moscow, and a major terrorist attack occurs in Russia, and a CIA operative's body is recovered. What is the Russian public thinking right now? America's attacking them. America is trying to kill them. And I think the way this Modern Warfare should have ended, it should have kind of ended on a cliffhanger to really get you hyped up for the second game, because the way it should have ended is maybe like police chatter or something, and you just see planes flying over like New York or something. You're seeing like Russian special forces dropping out of the plane, like parachuting, and like you see the Statue of Liberty in the background and see like the Russians like invading the U.S., and that's where the game should have ended. And then that led into Modern Warfare 3, which would be World War 3. I feel like that would have definitely been a better way of doing Modern Warfare 2. And instead, they did it their way, which is, hey, we're chasing after Hassan. Oh, there's his missiles. Oh, there he goes again. And I hated the way they did Graves, essentially, because, like, the whole thing with him, quote unquote, dying, that irritated me because I was watching this after having taken him out. I'm like, bro, Graves is still alive. He's definitely still alive. I was talking to Frank, I was talking to 50, and when this all happened, I'm talking to 50 about it, and he's like, oh, bro, that fight with Graves was annoying. I'm like, yeah, he's still alive, right? No, he's not. Yes, he is. Like, how? How would he have survived that? The tank blew up. I'm like, did you see his body? He's like, well, I'm like, how many times have you ever seen a Call of Duty character die and they were dead? How many times have you ever killed a Call of Duty character and you've seen them die? He's like, well, and I'm like, uh-huh. So did you see Graves die? And he's like, shit. I'm like, uh-huh. And speaking of shit, this is stuck in my keyboard. Can you get out, please? Thank you. But yeah, it just kind of like that moment dawned on him. He was like, oh, so Graves is still alive. So all that fighting, that damn tank meant nothing. So Graves is still very much alive. I'm like, yes, he is. Graves is still very much alive. And come Modern Warfare 3, who's still alive. Actually, that's another thing, too, that irritates me with Call of Duty. Is the whole thing with Warzone. I feel like they piggyback a little too much off of Warzone because Modern Warfare 3 just did a lot of Warzone shit with campaign, and it honestly annoyed the hell out of me. There were a number of times where while I was playing, I just felt like I was playing Warzone single player. That's really just what it felt like. Especially Cold War. I started noticing that a lot, and it was like, okay, the armored enemies are stupid annoying, and the body armor mechanic is just kind of weird and out of place for a game like this. So it's just, again, weird to me, very weird. The other thing I hated too was the way they did Shepard. Because in the original Modern Warfare, something you guys gotta remember is that Shepard was kind of Makarov's polar opposite, right? Well, not polar opposite, they were the same but different. Makarov was an ultranationalist for Russia. He believed that in the event that Russia and the United States went to war, it's Russia's right, or Russia should basically take over. That's, for lack of a better word, a short summary of Makarov's insane ideology. Shepard, on the other hand, is an American patriot. He believes in the United States. The only thing is that he believes that not enough Americans are patriotic. Not enough Americans are willing to fight for their country. And after the events that unfolded in the Middle East, where I can't remember what group it was, but they ended up blowing up that nuke and killing all those soldiers. After he saw that, literally in his own words, the world just sat and fucking watched. So this dude is a part of this, is ordering this operation to, help Middle Eastern allies, resulting in a nuclear catastrophe that lost the lives of his men. So, yeah, I can kind of understand his point of view. So his whole thing, him and Makarov kind of had this weird, like, the enemy, like, I don't want to say enemy of my enemy is my friend situation, but more of like a, hey, we're both on opposite sides, but we kind of both want the same thing. So it's weird, but this could actually work for both of us for what we both want. It's like one of those weird situations. So so basically, Shepard was encouraging World War III because he figured that an attack on American soil would result in more patriots, more people willing to fight, more people who wanted to fight for America. Whereas Makarov's belief in World War III would lead to a Russian victory. So basically, their whole thing was kind of a may the better man win kind of thing. I would say that's the best way I could describe the way those two are. In the new Modern Warfare, though, kind of the same thing a little bit. Shepard was delivering weapons through Shadow Company to freedom fighters in the Middle East to cripple Russian influence in the Middle East. So again, it was one of those, I'm going to do what I want because I believe this is the right thing to do situations. But, nevertheless, he was just a bitch about it the whole way through the entire game. Because, like, when they figure out that, oh, Shepard's the one responsible for the missiles, it's his missiles, oh no! Then he, If I remember correctly, there was a moment where Price was really willing to work with the guy. He was like, "Listen, you get Shadow Company to fuck off, and we'll leave you alone, Shepard. We won't bother you. We won't come after you. We'll leave you alone." And Shepard's like, "No, I can't take that risk. Sorry." And like, really? So now he went from this ultra nationalist lunatic who believes a war on the United States would actually be a good thing for us. He believes a war on the US would be good. In turn, they turn him into a moron. Alright, there we go, just getting stuff together. But yeah, so, I just feel like they made Shepard more incompetent than they did make him a threat. And again, it just kind of goes into my whole thing of these writers really just don't know what the hell they're doing. On top of that, with Modern Warfare 3, I'm just going to say it right now, they ruined it. Price, back in Modern Warfare 3, the original, the way he died very, theatrically, to say the least, right? He got wounded. I don't remember if he got shot. The man was bleeding out. He was severely wounded, and Price is, like, running across his battlefield just to save the man. Helicopters are shooting at you. All these angry Russians are trying to kill you. And, the way it ends, you come to the realization of Yuri and Makarov know each other. The character that you're playing as the entirety of Modern Warfare 3, or one of the characters you're playing as, he's actually has a history with Makarov. So now Price's trust in Yuri comes to questions like, well, hold on a second. Why does Makarov know you? How does he know you? What the hell does Soap mean? So he just lost his friend, and now he's very much questioning the fact that, apparently Makarov knows his character. So what the hell gives? So it just added a lot more, not only, like, the way Soap's original death went, added more context on. It added more context, it added more layers, it just kind of stressed this level of trust between Yuri and Price, despite the fact that Soap was just killed. Now, in this game, there's really no stress to it, just, oh, well, he got popped in the face. Okay, that's done. And then later on, we see fucking Shepard, and what happens to him? Guess what? Popped in the face. Done. It's so lacking. It's lacking like emotional depth. It's taking away from who the characters were. It takes away any real strain or stress between the characters' death or their relationships with other characters. It just takes away. And like I said, overall, I feel like it's just missing a lot of opportunity. Then when you also think of games or other games like the hell was I saying? Hold on, I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay, I had this backwards. I think. No, I'm doing it right. Okay. But yeah, overall, I wasn't happy with the Modern Warfare series, and now, like, we stopped Makarov for the last time, and he just runs off. And I promise, I tried to shoot him. I said, screw the other Coney Group soldiers. I wanted Makarov, and I wanted him bad. And I opened up on him, and naturally, I think he had, like, plot armor. I don't think there's any way of feasibly being able to kill him. I think even if you can somehow squeeze a shot off on him, you just can't. You just can't kill the guy. No matter how bad you want to, you're not killing him. And it sucks because it just, like, it's that typical trope with villains of yes, they've got to do something evil now, and then run away like a bitch. Like, oh, okay, bye. Bye, it's not like I wanted to shoot you in the face. But you stop this major terror attack that could have caused World War III. You stop all these terror attacks that could have caused World War III. And at one point, you're just kind of wondering, like, okay, when does this major event take place? When does a major, like, story aspect kick off, So it just it feels lacking. It feels like it's missing a lot of depth, and it sucks, for lack of a better word. It really does suck, and it would be nice if these developers kind of did better and just thought more on it. And this is my opinion. One thing, too, especially when it comes down to, like, movies and whatnot, I feel like they're called movie adaptations for a reason, right? So with that said, one would think that you are adapting. You're adapting the movie to the big screen. You're adapting the game to the big screen. So it should be like an open book test. But somehow these writers still fuck it up. They still fuck it up. So all I'm going to say on the topic is that as a fan of Metal Gear, I am praying to the Lord He Himself, if He is listening, never let a Metal Gear movie be made. Please, we don't need it. We really don't need it. My disappointment has gone so far at this point. Please, don't ruin Snake. Like Sonic was okay, but kind of disappointing. The Resident Evil live actions all kind of were hit or miss or hot garbage. Star Wars has gone down the toilet. Uncharted, I didn't really get to see, but I heard mixed about that. It's just, like I said, one disappointment after the other, and I really just no more, please, I can't. As a nerd, like you're just, it's like everything you love is being taken from you, and not even taken, but just ruined, and it kind of sucks because like my father will never play video games, but it would be nice to be able to like kind of have something to nerd out with him on. So it's like, when it came down to the live action Resident Evils, it would have been nice to give him like a movie based on the video games and then be able to properly talk about it with him. Like, oh, this character, that third, and all this shit. And just, be able to nerd out. And I can't do that because he'll never really understand the gravity of some of these characters. He'll never understand some of the aspects of these stories because, unfortunately, he's not getting the same experience that I got. He's not getting the same story that I got. So it just takes away from him. That's why I keep saying, and I will always say this: if you want to play old video games, emulate them. Just honest to God, emulate them. Don't pay for a scalper. Don't just emulate. Enjoy the old stuff because the new stuff all sucks. That's basically my thought process on the matter. I'm still figuring out how this whole thing folds out and whatnot. I've got to figure that out. But ladies and gents, I'm going to take a break from the build. My brain hurts, and I got to figure this all out. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I could probably actually just snap this arm. I'm pretty certain this is supposed to be his left, I think. He has a very skinny arm. You know why it looks weird? Because he's missing his shoulders. That's why. I haven't done his shoulders yet. But yeah, we're getting there. So, little by little. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, if you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy my content, if you enjoy my just ramblings, engagements are what makes the difference, and I appreciate your help. Likes, dislikes, hitting that bell icon, little things that you can do really do make a difference for the channel and helps us get to new users. Bell icon will also keep you up to date whenever I go live, whenever new videos release, whenever I do something new. The bell icon will keep you up to date. If you guys want to come hang out with me and have not done so already, please feel free to join our Discord, link in the description below. I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe and follow me on Twitch. That would be absolutely awesome, and I'd appreciate you for it. But other than that, feel free to join our Discord, link in the description. I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Love each and every one of you. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Have a fantastic night, everybody. See you on the next one. Later, people. Have a good night.